Hey guys, Keely Reason here, owner of Love Hope Adventure, where I talk about the marriage relationship, intimacy in marriage, and how you can go deeper with your spouse. Today I'm answering a reader question from someone who said, how do I take the pressure off of the first night of having sex? The wedding's coming up. What do I do? How do I be less nervous? How do I take that pressure off? What do I need to do? Okay, first things first. It's okay if you don't have sex on your wedding night. I know that that might be ideal, it might be what you hope for, but it's important to have a conversation with your fiance, soon to be spouse, and set the expectation that it's more important that you both enjoy this time and feel relaxed and feel ready than to rush it after a very long day. If you get to the end of the night and you're so emotionally, physically exhausted that you can't really give yourself into that, it's okay to say, we will resume this in the morning. I recommend that you don't plan a huge day the following day of your wedding. You're going to be tired. You're going to need time together with one another to just acclimate to being together in this way, not just physically and intimately, but like in the same space, in the same room, in the same bed. There's so much. There's a lot of pressure, I think, on that first night of sex. There's this concept in songs and movies and whatever that like your first time will be your best time. And the truth is it probably won't. It might be one of the worst times. It might be very painful for you. You're definitely not going to know what you're doing. That's okay. See, this is the adventure part of sex with your spouse. This is part of the adventure that we talk about in Love of Adventure. Is like, don't think of it as we have to be in the final destination. It is an adventure to get there. Building a good sex life with your spouse, it doesn't happen overnight. It is not going to happen on night one. It's going to take time, years even, and it's going to change. Okay, like when you start having babies, if you choose to do that, if your body changes, your weight changes, your hormones change, you get to be a different age, sex is going to feel different and look different through different periods of time in your life. And you don't have to start out on the first time and be like, well, this is setting the tone for our entire sex life. That's just not true. Take the pressure off yourself mentally on performance, on what that time will be like. Remind yourself of what the whole idea behind sexual intimacy is. That is connecting with your spouse. This is a way for you to connect with each other. And I think that uh, wives and husbands have a lot of pressure on them about sex in different ways. Wives, I think, often feel like they got to be sexy and sexually satisfying and know what they're doing and be experienced and really do everything. And there's a lot of pressure on them for that. Men, I think, eventually, I don't know if they feel this at the beginning, definitely feel this pressure to get their wives to orgasm. And if their wife can't orgasm, then there's that in their mind, well, I'm not doing a good enough job. Like, I'm obviously, like, I don't know what to do. I'm not meeting her needs sexually. Even if the wife is like, well, it's okay if I did an orgasm or whatever. There is a lot of pressure on both sides. And I just encourage you to have a conversation with your fiance in advance, setting the expectations. It's okay if we don't have this the first night. We don't know what this experience is going to be like, but we're just going to come and figure it out. This will not be the only time we have sex. It might not be the best time, but it's going to be special because it is our first time together. And it's okay to say, well, this will be special, this will be memorable, but it doesn't have to be like the best you've ever had. It definitely won't be. You will need a long time and a lot of practice and a lot of um, intimacy with your spouse before you get to the point where it becomes the best sex of your life. And every time you have sex doesn't have to be the best. It's going to feel different and be different every single time. And the reason for that is that your body's going to feel different at different times of the month. Your hormones are different. Your position of things inside of you is different as you go through your cycle. This is for women, of course. It's just going to be different. If you are exhausted versus energized, if you're, dealing with a lot of stress versus being in a more relaxed time, every time you are together with your spouse, it'll be different. So don't think that the first time has to be the best time. Remove that from your mind. Don't feel like you have to go through completely with this on night one, and just set those expectations with your fiance in advance. Find out what does that person expect. Share what you're expecting, and come to an agreement that it's okay if it's not the best. It's okay if it's clumsy and if we don't know what we're doing and we have to stop and take breaks and ask questions and figure this thing out. That is the beauty of developing an intimacy with your spouse. Listen, your entire marriage is going to be like this. The entire marriage, the entire relationship is going to be you and your spouse figuring it out. You're not going to have the rules. You're not going to have a book to go by. You have no idea what life will give you or what it will throw at you or how you'll change or how they'll change. And that is life. That is working on a relationship with each other. So, any more than you know how to do life with your spouse as a married couple, you won't know how to have sex with them either. Guys, thanks so much for joining me. And if you have anything you want to contribute to this, make sure you leave the comments in the message below. And I'll chat with you guys later.